Hi, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to Salve Salento. We're back in Italy. We couldn't wait. We were in the islands for about 6 months in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the whole time there, we were just missing this way too much. You know, our beautiful Italian home, my Italian kitchen. So welcome. And we couldn't wait to get back to share it with our family and our friends that are here, our new family, our new Italian family that we have. If you haven't been tuning into the channel, you can look on our channel to see the renovation of our home and also some how-to videos that we do of if you are interested in moving to Italy, and there are some tips and things like that that I shared with a lot of the viewers. If you're interested in that, you can tune in. So I wanted to do a little cooking video with you today because since we're here in Italy, it's very funny. We have our friends that aren't, some of them are Italian, some of them are from other countries. And whenever we say, when I say I make things, American dessert recipes and things like that, they're like, oh my God, I've never had that. What's that made with? We never had anything like that. And they want to try it. And it's funny because it's things that we would normally make all of the time in America, like, you know, American traditional recipes that you would maybe bring to barbecues and things like lemon bars or cheesecakes or chocolate chip cookies. And they don't have brown sugar here, which is, I mean, you can't imagine not having it, but if you're living in the US, but here it's not part of their culture. They don't grow sugar cane here, and they didn't process sugar cane here. So they wouldn't naturally have brown sugar. They have brought it now, so you can find it. You can find it on Amazon, Italy, and we can buy it through that. But you can't just go to the supermarket and buy it. So people traditionally don't make recipes with something like that in it, brown sugar. So the first time that I made chocolate chip cookies for some of our Italian friends, they were like, "Oh my God, these are the best things that I ever ate." And I was like, "They're just chocolate chip cookies. It's not anything special." But to them, it is. So today I'm going to make a cheesecake and a Philadelphia cheesecake, a traditional one that you would find on that package of cream cheese that you get in the supermarket. And they do have cream cheese here, but it comes a little bit different than we get it in the U.S. Like you would have your bricks of cream cheese, and then you would have all different kinds of flavors. They don't really have anything like that here, except one. You can find an herbed version, but the cream cheese here, not only is it delicious, but it's so inexpensive. So I get these in the supermarket, and one of the supermarkets that we go to, and it's 300 grams. So 300 grams is the equivalent to about 10 ounces of cream cheese. And these are only $1.29, which is it's like, I can't imagine what that would be in the US. I know that when I was buying cream cheese, just the bricks, they were about $4 each. And this is just a little bit more than one of the bricks. So my whole cheesecake cream cheese costs less than one brick that you need, I think, 3 or 4 of them to make in the US to make that cheesecake. So it's great, really great. And it's delicious. And it's very short dated here. I think it's only about two months. So everything here is really, really fresh. And it doesn't really stay on the shelf. People buy it, stuff moves. So they don't have to, date it far out. But it's a little bit different. It's a little softer than you would get in the US. I know that the Philadelphia is a little bit drier and harder, where this is a little bit more creamy, which is nice. And also, so another thing is graham crackers. So they don't have graham flour, and not surprised because that's something that's really kind of a U.S. thing, or from other countries, but not not in Italy, not in Europe traditionally. They have things that are similar, and it took me a long time. So when we were here first, for about almost 2 years, I was scouring the supermarkets trying to find ingredients that I could use to make our traditional things in the US, because I wanted to make them as close to what I remember them to be. And they don't have the exact same ingredients here. And then to order graham crackers online, and where you're getting them from, they could be like old or getting shipped. So I said, let me just find something that's local, and it's in all of the supermarkets that I can use instead. So they have these cookies. They're called Novellino. This one brand is Campiello, I think. And I'll show it up really close. So these, it says made with fresh milk and honey. And as soon as I saw that, I said, that's probably really close to a graham cracker. So I got these, and it comes with 8 packs in it. So that makes 4 whole cheesecakes. So I know my friends are going to say, okay, so you can make 4 cheesecakes and we'll all come over and eat them. But today I'm only going to make one. And I wanted to show you how I do that. So what I did was I crushed up the Campiello crackers, the cookies, and I used this gigantic spoon. It's huge. Don't have a rolling pin yet. I will get one, but this worked just as well. I think that maybe this could be used for other things if you're not behaving, right? It's a big spoon. So I mixed together the crushed cookies and the sugar, and I'm gonna mix the butter in. So I'm just gonna mix in that sugar. That's like the regular traditional recipe that I do for Philadelphia cheesecake, and the one that you get online. It's really, really simple, but I don't tell anybody that. So now everybody's gonna know my secret because they think it takes a long time and they think it's very, very difficult, but I know that it isn't. So now everyone will know, and then they can make it themselves, but I know they won't want to do that. They'll want me to. And I don't mind because this is like super, super easy. So I mixed those crushed cookies with the sugar and that melted butter that I stirred in there, and I'm going to press it into the springform pan. Okay, so I'm just going to put it in there. And I have a little trick that I'll spread that out, get it nice and even, and then I just take a glass and I'll pat that down. Just smash it a little bit when I get it in there. So they're almost exactly like graham crackers. I really like these a little bit better because they don't have that rough consistency that graham crackers do. And they're a little bit sweeter, not by much, but just a little bit sweeter and a little bit soft, a little bit more honey, have a little bit more of a honey taste to them. Okay, so I pat in the crust for the bottom of the cheesecake, and I'm going to go mix up the sugar and the cream cheese and the eggs and vanilla. I found that if I soften the cream cheese way too much, it changes the taste a little bit. I think that it may, I don't know if it gets a little warm or whatever, but I like to just mix it while it's still a little cold. So I'm going to put in the sugar. That's my oven, it's ready. So I'm gonna put in my sugar. They don't carry this kind of vanilla. This one, I think was from BJ's in Florida. And they don't carry this kind of vanilla. They have a different vanilla, but I found that it gives a little bit of a different taste. And I always add just a little bit extra. And then I'm gonna add my eggs. We were in the supermarket for about 20 minutes once looking for eggs, and I couldn't find them. And finally I broke down and said to someone, please help me find the eggs. Like, do you sell eggs in the supermarket? And they said, yeah, of course, they're right here. And they were on the end of a rack. And I said, but they're not in the refrigerator. And they're like, eggs aren't in the refrigerator, until our friends told us that they don't store them in the refrigerator here. They don't process them at all. And there's a natural coating that's on the eggs that protects it. So you don't need to put it in the refrigerator, but in the US, I guess they like things to last longer, or maybe they're afraid of foodborne illnesses or things like that. And they process the eggs through some type of, chemical or whatever to stop them from spoiling, or, if there are any germs on the surface. But they don't do that here, and no one's ever gotten sick from anything. So I don't know why they do that in the US. So in the supermarket here, they do sell chocolate chip cookies, like in packages and things like that, but they don't have brown sugar in them. And they do taste a little bit different. I guess it's all what you're used to. But so I made them the first time that I made the chocolate chip cookies, and one of our friends, our very good friends, their kids tasted them. And they were like, these are so good. What's in these? And I said, they're just they're just regular chocolate chip cookies. And they said, these are so good. These are the best things that I ever had. And I was like, well, I could make them again if you want to. So we're going to bake this and then we'll see what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so the cheesecake is done. And what I like to do before I take it out of the oven, I actually turn the temperature down and I turn the oven off and I leave it inside until it continues to cook without it constantly being heated. I found that it tends to make it a little too dry if you cook it at the set temperature for the whole time, and it actually still cooks in the oven when you leave the door closed, but it doesn't dry out so much. So what I do is I pop the oven open. So if you can see, I put like a little dish rag in there to let the heat escape a little bit and let the temperature of the cheesecake come down. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to take out that little towel and we'll see what it looks like in there. It's beautiful. And I cook it just until you can see that it may move just a little bit, but it's all cooked. And let's take that out without ruining it. Ooh, it's heavy. And with a lot of practice, I found that I can get it to cook without getting cracked on top. So when it gets usually I get a big crack, and that was when I had the oven on continuously. But what I did, what I've been doing the past few times that I've been making these is that I just turn that oven off and it stops it from cracking and it actually becomes a little bit more creamy and not as dry, which is really, really great. So I'm going to have to let this cool in here for quite a few hours and let it set. And then tonight I will take a little quick video when it's all done and it's ready to serve. Okay, so here's our cheesecake that we baked today, and you can see on the top, there's no cracks. So it cooked perfectly in the oven when we turned that oven off, and we left it just to cook with the heat off, and it cooked just perfectly. Thank you so much for joining me today in the kitchen, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Ciao.